In the middle of the 19th century, Nathan Rothschild rushes to the London Stock Exchange with important news from Waterloo, a decision that would forever alter Europe's financial landscape. Little did the world know that this was only the beginning of the Rothschild dynasty, whose influence would spread beyond the financial markets and into the halls of power across continents. Mayer Rothschild, born in 1744, was physically and socially constrained in a world where his people were denied the freedoms enjoyed by others. The Jewish community could not go out at night, on Sundays, or on Christian holidays, or visit public gardens or coffee shops. This discrimination extended to the streets, where only two Jews could stroll together in public. Yet within these confines, a young Mayer's ambition and intellect began to stir. His father, Amschel Moses Rothschild, a trader of silk cloth and currencies, introduced him to the world of commerce. Mayer began sorting coins at a young age, connecting him to the more giant, bright mosaic of Frankfurt's semi-annual trade fairs. These fairs were more than just local market days. They were filled with buyers and vendors from all across the region, providing a look into a world beyond the Judengasse. Tragedy struck early. Mayer's parents succumbed to smallpox when he was just 12, leaving him an orphan. His circumstances changed dramatically after being taken in by relatives when he was assigned to apprentice under Simon Wolf Oppenheimer in Hanover. While working at one of the leading Jewish banks, Mayer was exposed not just to the mechanics of trade, but also to the sophisticated world of foreign finance and rare currency from ancient civilizations, such as Rome, Persia, and Byzantium. Mayer learned the value of networking with wealth and aristocracy while working as a court Jew, a name used to describe Jews who transacted business with the nobility. The seeds planted in these early years would grow as Mayer returned to Frankfurt, determined to make his mark. Established by Mayer Amschel Rothschild, the family business soon blossomed under his guidance, and later under the aegis of his 5 sons, Nathan Mayer, James Mayer, Solomon Mayer, Karl Mayer, and Amschel Mayer. Mayer Amschel believed that keeping the business within the family was crucial for its future success, a belief that proved prescient. They also engaged in various sectors, from merchant banking to asset management. Their financial sense turned the Rothschilds into pioneers of international finance, transforming their initial small trading enterprise into a global dynasty known for its significant contributions to finance, philanthropy, and cultural institutions. In 1763, Mayer Rothschild, barely 19, returned to Frankfurt to join his brothers in the family trading business. The business, originally established by their father, primarily dealt in rare coins, a niche Mayer was destined to excel in. His acumen quickly caught the eye of Crown Prince Wilhelm of Hesse, a former patron of Mayer's father. This connection was not merely fortuitous, but a stepping stone that would define the Rothschild legacy. Mayer's ties with Wilhelm went beyond just coin exchange. Mayer's role changed as Wilhelm grew in money and power, becoming Wilhelm IX, Landgrave of Hesse-Kassel.
The ex-Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany. He is 78 years old. He caught a cold while at his usual exercise of wood.
By 1769, his services had earned him not only trust, but also the honorary title of court factor, or crown agent. This title was a badge of prestige. Mayer was permitted to display the Hesse and Hanau coat of arms on his residence, signifying his distinguished status and royal endorsement. The year 1770 marked another cornerstone in Mayer's life. He married Gürtel Schnapper, daughter of a money changer and court factor. Gürtel was not just his partner, but a pillar in Mayer's burgeoning empire. Together, they had 10 children, 5 sons and 5 daughters. The Rothschild household buzzed with the vitality of a large family, each child a potential bearer of Mayer's burgeoning legacy. This family would not only carry on Mayer's name, but spread the Rothschild influence across the financial capitals of Europe, embedding their name in the annals of global finance. During the chaotic period of the French Revolution, Mayer Rothschild's financial business expanded rapidly. He was instrumental in securing funds from Britain for the hire of Hessian mercenary warriors, highlighting the family's rising influence across national borders and within the corridors of power. As the 19th century dawned, Mayer took decisive steps to cement the Rothschild presence across Europe. he strategically dispatched his sons to key financial centers: Naples, Vienna, Paris, and London, in addition to keeping one eye rooted in Frankfurt. This move transformed the Rothschild family into a transcontinental banking powerhouse, with each branch interconnected and operating with unparalleled financial prowess. The Rothschilds' interests extended beyond banking. Over centuries, their astute lending to governments to support wartime activities enabled them to accumulate large holdings in bonds and investments across a wide range of sectors. This method not only guaranteed their financial position, but also catapulted them to the role of the era's financial architects. Mayer Rothschild's vision extended beyond his lifetime. Before his passing, he meticulously laid out instructions for his heirs on managing the family fortune. His will established a strict patrilineal system of inheritance, ensuring that wealth and titles passed exclusively through the male lineage. This directive not only preserved the family's wealth, but also fostered a tradition of intermarriage among Rothschild cousins, further solidifying their influence and cohesion. Between 1824 and 1877, the Rothschild family saw 36 marriages among Mayer's male descendants, with a significant majority marrying within the family, often first or second cousins. This practice of endogamy was a deliberate strategy to consolidate wealth and power within the family circle, reinforcing their unity and financial resilience across generations. As the Rothschild dynasty flourished through strategic marriages and business acumen, individual members of the family carved their own paths into history. Among Mayer's sons, Nathan Rothschild, the third son, emerged as particularly illustrious. In 1798, he started by moving from Frankfurt to Manchester, England, not to pursue a career in banking like his family, but to establish a textile business. His enterprising energy swiftly shifted to finance, taking him to London, where he founded N.M. Rothschild & Sons in 1810. This banking institution, under Nathan's guidance, grew robustly and is still operational today, having reported substantial financial figures in 2022, with revenues in the billions and strategic assets under management. N.M. Rothschild & Sons played a critical role during times of national emergency, such as the Napoleonic Wars, where it almost single-handedly managed and financed the war efforts for the British government. This involved furnishing credit to the government, managing subsidies sent to allies, and funding troop payments. Nathan's knack for seizing strategic opportunities extended beyond banking. In 1824, he co-founded the Alliance Assurance Company, which has evolved into part of the modern RSA Group. His ventures into natural resources were equally strategic. In 1835, he secured the rights to mercury mines in Spain, granting him a near monopoly over this vital element used in refining precious metals. This position became crucial in 1852, when his bank began refining gold and silver for the Bank of England and the Royal Mint. So, from Mayer's strategic foundation to Nathan's ambitious ventures, the Rothschild name became linked not only with money, but also with a tremendous influence on the banking and financial sectors, reshaping worldwide economic landscapes. This story of development, adaptation, and strategic vision demonstrates how the Rothschilds not only preserved their legacy, but also expanded it across generations and industries. Nathan Rothschild's influence extended far beyond the realms of finance and banking. He was deeply committed to philanthropy, particularly within the Jewish community. His initial efforts focused on supporting synagogues in London, which culminated in the formation of the United Synagogue, a significant organization aimed at consolidating the efforts of smaller synagogues across the city. This initiative marked the beginning of the Rothschild family's long-standing tradition of charitable endeavors that would eventually reach beyond their own community to touch lives across Europe. The extent of Rothschild's generosity grew considerably with Nathan's successors, particularly his youngest child, Louise, and her 7 daughters, who handled several of the family's philanthropic foundations in Frankfurt. These foundations were not restricted to traditional philanthropy. They also supported a wide range of social welfare initiatives, such as building public libraries, orphanages, hospitals, and homes for the aged. Special money was also set aside, particularly for educational reasons, demonstrating the family's dedication to encouraging study and development. In London, the Rothschilds' philanthropic efforts were equally impactful. The Jews' Free School was a notable beneficiary, receiving extensive financial support that enabled it to offer education to those in the Jewish community who were less fortunate. This spirit of generosity also extended to other regions, with significant contributions made towards educational initiatives in Austria, France, and Israel. Perhaps one of the most lasting legacies of the Rothschild family is their contribution to the arts. An estimated 60,000 pieces of artwork were donated to public institutions, enriching cultural heritage and making art accessible to the broader public. Additionally, the Rothschilds were instrumental in the creation of social housing in London and Paris, efforts that were the establishment of the Rothschild Foundation further supported. This organization aimed to perpetuate and expand their philanthropic efforts, ensuring that the family's impact would endure. Through these actions, the Rothschild family not only shaped financial markets, but also contributed profoundly to social welfare and culture, leaving an indelible mark on society that transcended generations and geographic boundaries. Their story is not just one of accumulating wealth, but of redistributing it in a way that fostered community growth and enriched lives. As the tides of history surged, the Rothschild family faced its share of adversities that challenged their vast empire. Over the course of the 20th century, wars, politics, and internal family rivalries began to erode the Rothschild fortune. The Naples branch of their banking dynasty closed its doors in 1863, a harbinger of the troubles that would slowly encroach upon the family's holdings. By 1901, the Frankfurt branch too shuttered, primarily due to a lack of male heirs to continue its legacy. World War II brought even more chaos. In 1938, the Vienna branch was forced to close due to the Nazi annexation of Austria, putting the family and its Jewish members in considerable danger. During the war, the Vichy government in France seized Rothschild holdings in Bordeaux. At the same time, the Nazis robbed millions of dollars in art and other treasures from the Austrian Rothschilds, some of which were only restored by the Austrian government 6 decades later. Despite these losses, the Rothschilds continued to contribute to society, donating many of their palatial estates to British and French governments and various educational and cultural institutions. However, the landscape of their banking empire was dramatically altered when in 1982, President François Mitterrand's socialist government nationalized the Paris Bank, renaming it the Compagnie Européenne de Banque. The Rothschilds' resilience, however, was most visible in the deeds of Edmund Adolph de Rothschild and his cousin, Baron David René James de Rothschild. Edmund founded a Swiss bank, ensuring the family's presence in banking outside of France. Meanwhile, David René stayed in Paris, negotiating the nationalization process to form Rothschild & C Bank in 1987, beginning a new era in the family's banking history. The turn of the millennium saw a historic consolidation of their financial interests. By 2003, the British and French banks were united under David's leadership. Finally, in 2008, a reorganization brought all of the family's holdings under one umbrella entity, Paris-Orléans, based in France. This strategic move unified the family's business, roughly 2 centuries after Mayer Rothschild's sons first spread across Europe to establish a financial empire that would withstand the tests of time and history. In the wake of this historic unification, Jacob Rothschild, the 4th Baron Rothschild, assumed leadership of the Rothschild family and its business interests. Under his stewardship, the family continues to influence global finance, upholding the legacy of innovation and resilience that has defined the Rothschild name for over 200 years.
Well, look, first of all, thank you for coming. Very much. A lot of old, friendly faces.
Given their vast influence and wealth, the Rothschild family has often been at the center of various accusations and conspiracy theories regarding their impact on global events. The narrative of the Rothschilds as banksters and warmongers has surfaced repeatedly, fueled by their significant roles in providing financial support during major wars and their deep entanglements with the political and economic frameworks of numerous nations. One persuasive accusation suggests that the Rothschilds, along with other Western bankers and industrialists, played a role in financing the rise of Hitler as part of a larger strategy to counteract Soviet influence during the prelude to World War II. This claim points to financial powerhouses' complex and sometimes controversial roles in geopolitical strategies, intertwining with institutions like the Catholic Church, traditional mafias, and intelligence agencies, such as the CIA and the Vatican Bank. Likewise, the involvement of banks in war financing is an old and established practice, not unique to the Rothschilds, but certainly a part of their historical operations. During conflicts, banks have historically seen opportunities for substantial profits by facilitating money transfers across front lines and funding governments' war efforts. For instance, the Rothschilds were instrumental in arranging substantial financial support for Britain during the Napoleonic Wars. This pattern of financing wars, which often benefited the bankers' interests, has been a cornerstone of the criticism against them. The Rothschilds have also been accused of manipulating economic outcomes to their advantage by controlling central banks and the flow of money across borders.
Bilderberg, you weren't there?
No.
Not this year. What went on last year?
No, I wasn't there last year.
Wasn't there last
I think
year?
that was my cousin.
The famous quote attributed to Mayor Amschel Rothschild, "Give me control over a nation's currency, and I care not who makes its laws," although likely apocryphal, encapsulates the essence of these theories. It suggests a belief that those who control money can transcend the power of governments, shaping policies and decisions from behind the scenes. These theories and accusations have occasionally obscured the Rothschilds' legitimate business accomplishments and philanthropic endeavors, forming a multifaceted tapestry of fables and partial truths. While it is evident that their financial activities have had a considerable impact on the global economy and politics, the amount to which this power has been exercised negatively remains a source of discussion and speculation. As the narrative of the Rothschild family continues, their legendary financial acumen has ensured that their wealth not only survived the tumult of history, but flourished across various sectors. Despite the myriad conspiracy theories and accusations that shadow their historical influence, the Rothschilds have adeptly navigated the complexities of global finance and industry. Today, the Rothschild legacy is embodied in a diverse portfolio that spans financial services, real estate, mining, energy, and even winemaking, with more than a dozen wineries worldwide. This diversification underscores the family's enduring entrepreneurial spirit and adherence to smart business principles, which have been central to their sustained success. The structure of the Rothschild fortune has traditionally been rooted in closely held corporations, ensuring that control and decision-making remain within the family. This approach has allowed most family members to either be directly employed by these corporations or to be invested in operations that continue to generate and enhance family wealth. The Rothschild Group owns investments in several firms, including Air Products and Chemicals, Duke Energy, Glencore, Alliant Energy, Mitsubishi, First Energy, and Fortis. Furthermore, the family's commitment to cooperation and togetherness is expressed in their motto, Concordia, Integritas, Industria, which means harmony, integrity, and industry. This philosophy has led the Rothschilds to protect the integrity of their collective fortune, which is inextricably linked from one generation to the next, allowing them to fund global economic activities, while also making significant contributions to scientific, humanitarian, and cultural endeavors. Through strategic management and a strong sense of collective identity, the Rothschilds have not only preserved their wealth, but also have used it to foster a wide range of philanthropic activities, reinforcing their significant, albeit sometimes controversial, role in shaping global economic landscapes. Now, what do you think is the most significant impact of the Rothschild family on today's global economy? Have they been benefactors, manipulators, or perhaps a bit of both? Share your thoughts in the comments below and keep the conversation going.